What is up, everybody? Going to try to make some sense of what is happening down with the Houston Texans. It's like the Jags were like, look, we're going to trade all of our good players. And Bill O'Brien's like, haha, hold my beer. I'm going to trade DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson. A trade that if you tried to pull this off in fantasy, the commissioner would veto it. Both league managers would be barred for life. And we would never hear from him again. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to understand what possibly is going on. And I understand, look, the Texans needed to make a move. They have no first-round pick. They need first-round picks. You didn't get a first-round pick. Instead, you're getting David Johnson and all of his money. And it's like, once Bill O'Brien watches the 2019 film on David Johnson, he's going to be super pissed. He's going to be like, what is happening? What is going on with my life? I don't know if you're hearing the dings and the bells of everything that is going on. Maybe it's just in my ears. And if that is the case, then so be it. I try not to look like a lunatic, but the news is coming in pretty fast here. But want to focus on this just a little bit. Now, you look at DeAndre Hopkins, both he and DJ will be 28 this season. And even though it seems like DeAndre Hopkins has been in the league forever, he is still a pretty young player. Although, you know what? He's had the third most receiving yards since 2013, the second most touchdowns since 2013. He's also played the most in press coverage, but has done very well against it. As a matter of fact, he will be sort of reunited against Jalen Ramsey, who he faced a lot when he was a member of the Jags. I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey was a member of the Jags. Still did pretty well for him. The Houston quarterbacks had a passer rating of around 85, just north of that, when targeting DeAndre Hopkins against Jalen Ramsey. So it'll be fun to see that rivalry kind of reinvent itself here in the NFC West. But I love this move for a lot of different players. And if you start at the quarterback position, let's look at Kyler Murray. I know a lot of people were going to be locked in on Kyler this season, thinking similar to what we thought last year with Lamar Jackson, that we wanted to be a year ahead of the curve if possible and hopefully strike while the iron is hot. But to me, when you look at it right now, if Kyler Murray is not the first quarterback off the board in your fantasy drafts, he is going to be the second. And as a matter of fact, Baker Mayfield is somebody that we need to pay attention to because, and again, I'll throw in a quick little note about Austin Hooper. No team ran more two tight end sets last year than the Minnesota Vikings, where Stefanski was the offensive coordinator. But I think Baker Mayfield, listen, we're getting off target here, but let's talk about Kyler. I think Kyler Murray is going to be great. I think that he's going to be the QB2. He's going to be coming, F it, he's going to be the QB1, all right? I would take Kyler Murray with the first overall pick, or not the first overall pick, the first pick as a quarterback. I'm sorry. Don't get it twisted. I know that the kid that goes out there and makes all the videos based on the stupid things that I say, that's a nice little soundbite for him, and he can use that on me, but whatever. It's not like you haven't done that in the past. But the cool thing is Kyler Murray's value is going to skyrocket if it hasn't already. I think a lot of the hipsters already had him as one of the top tight ends in the fantasy draft. Now it looks like it's a runaway freight train. If he's not the first quarterback off the board, he is going to be the second behind Patrick Mahomes, probably sliding in ahead of Lamar Jackson. DeAndre Hopkins should still continue to be a top 5 receiver in fantasy drafts. I think there's going to be a lot of volume of targets. Even with Larry Johnson there, it's not going to matter. It's probably the first time that DeAndre Hopkins has had a very credible guy playing alongside of him at the wide receiver position. This is only going to benefit him. I, again, see him being one of the top receivers off the board, if not the first receiver off the board. I know, maybe it's overreacting, and maybe once we take a couple of months to really look at this and start to chart things out, we could make case for guys like Devontae Adams and players like that. But for me, I'm loving what the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to do on offense. I'm going there. Some other big news with the Arizona Cardinals as we start free agency. Kenyon Drake was placed with the transition tag, and that's different from the franchise tag. That doesn't mean he can still go out and sign with another team. The only difference here is the Arizona Cardinals have the ability to match any offer that comes out for Kenyon Drake, which is great. Now, if they lose Kenyon Drake, they don't get any draft compensation or anything like that, but they're going to be able to match any offer that comes their way. And now that they've gotten rid of David Johnson, they should have some more flexibility. They don't have that much money tied up into the position, so somebody's going to have to be really creative to go out there to try to undercut the Arizona Cardinals for Kenyon Drake, but ultimately he's going to land with the Cardinals. That's our hope. That's our conjecture. So now you look at this team, it is going to be absolutely fantastic. Kenyon Drake, for me, was going to be a top 10 fantasy running back, easily top 5 for me. He is somebody, we'll have to wait to see how the average draft position kind of works out this summer. I was hoping to kind of follow a strategy of taking a number 1 wide receiver right off the top. Let's say that we took DeAndre Hopkins in the first round, then we took George Kittle, and then hopefully coming back and taking somebody like Kenyon Drake, although, if I'm going to draft, now looking at it, I might not want 2 players from the Arizona Cardinals offense. Or do I? That's going to be the fun thing that we start to chart. It'll be interesting to see where his ADP lands at some point in the upcoming draft. But this is a fantastic day for the Arizona Cardinals. Really interesting to see what happens with the NFC West. The LA Rams might be the worst team in the division. They might be the team that finishes in last this season. So it's going to be amazing to see the way that this all unfolds. Also, the Houston Texans, what the hell is going on? Deshaun Watson, your draft value is gone. Will Fuller will probably catch 20 touchdowns in the 6 games that he plays. I don't see much out of David Johnson. Poor Duke Johnson. Let Duke Johnson go to another team. This is bad all the way around for the Texans. Congratulations to the Titans on winning the AFC South again. But good luck. There'll be more reaction. And you know what? There's going to be more nuttiness unfolding. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater. Who knows? But anyways, keep right here. Like and subscribe this YouTube channel. Appreciate you doing that. We'll see you soon. If I can just hit the button.